Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you may be. Christmas may be over, but the Christmas gift of stamps keeps giving. It is the 7th of January, so it's time to continue with the bag of Christmas stamps. Ouch. Right, let's have a look what we've got, which is interesting. Now that's an interesting old thing, isn't it? A stamp within a stamp. 1992 Australia 3.5p. But I think they're commemorating something here, because that is not a 1902 picture of Her Majesty the Queen. But we'll leave that there. Here's a Nyasaland. Nice leopard by the look of it, and George the Sixth. Very nice. And here's another stamp of royalty, the Queen. So there's quite a few of the royal stamps coming out. Half a P, ER, Elizabeth Regina. And again, this time, the other side of the world, Canada. More Canada, but this is a building, so a more modernish stamp, so to speak. What is this? Well, first of all, it's upside down, because it's a Belgium stamp, but if we turn it upside down again, Bezig de Luchtpost probably Paris. Paris, maybe? I'm not sure, but that's quite nice. Cancel that, isn't it? A nice slogan on it. We'll keep that over there. More Belgium, I would suspect. If we can get it the right way around, I'll be able to see it properly. I think that's Belgium. Here, what we see here is it's been a bit butchered a bit by the. Excuse me, well, I've just got to fight with this because there's two stamps. Here we are. Fighting with it. There we are. We've got Belgique and we've got Belgia. So we got the Flemish and the French vying for equal popularity within that stamp. I suspect this is another example of that. Yeah, better example. Belgique, which is French, and Belgia, which would be the Flemish. And they seem to coexist nice and simply, which you can't really say about many countries that have two different languages. Anyway, coronation of Her Majesty II. This is Australia. Bit of a dink there, unfortunately. Also, it is used, so it's not Magyar Posts. Hungary, I've got many of those. This is a stamp on paper here, Magyar again, so a more modern one. Bring me good stuff. Here we Belgique, Belgia, 1974. Put him over there. Are there any nasty looking stamps here? Sometimes the nasty ones, the ones with the look a bit nasty at the back, can reveal age in the front and therefore interest. Well, not age as such, but 47. I would say this is a 1947 stamp because it's commemorating the birth of this gent in 1847. So I would say there's not one I've seen before Australia-wise. Aussies like a beard, and here is one. E.J. Bayer, Australian person. Hungary again. Go over there. There's a lot of Australian stuff coming out. So there may be a purpose here for Australia. There's another one. In order really to set up a bit of a collection, there's one of the Queen Mother, 1D, and 3.5 the daughter, and a 6, queen again, more Australia. This pull is utterly Australian and Hungary. These get everywhere, the Hungarians. They do get everywhere. Sweden, Franco of Spain, very common. Okay, we're getting into some stuff now that is becoming difficult to identify, which I do like. 1894, what a lovely clear. What a lovely clear cancel, but I'm looking at if I can find. Whoa, I can't find the country. Looks a bit European, but Belgium again. That's a nice early Belgium. I like it very much. Turkey, King of Spain, Belgium, modern. This looks a bit tatty. It's not particularly rare. It's a very, very common Deutsches Bundespost. French, Marianne's. What have we got here? France, Sower, La Semeuse, early France again, and again, and a nice shield coat of arms, Nevers. I do have it, so I'm not going to even leave it out to check, because I've remember saying the word Nevers before. This has got to be Belgium. It isn't, obviously. It's Hungary. Again, a nice cancel there. I love the old stuff, but I'm not averse maybe to less old stamps. Here's one of the Queen again. These, I must say, I'm not impressed with. Canada, I find Canadian stamps, apologies if you're from Canada, but it ain't art. That's a photo. It ain't arty. That is more so, I would say. At least I've tried. There we have that. Can I give you an example of what is art? That, really. I know it's from Wilding, and I know it's, if you've got a proper, yeah, someone's taken a nice photo there, but that doesn't, yeah, I don't know if you know what I mean. Hong Kong, Queen, Lighthouse, China, the People's Republic of China. We haven't had any Venezuela, have we? Australia. That's interesting. That is a nice Olympic stamp, which I'm going to keep out because I don't have any of those. Thailand, Germany. What's this here? This is an interesting thing. US Post Airmail. Alexander Virgin Centennial. I don't know. But I do like it. This is a more modern. Oh no, it's not. It's of Russia. Gotta keep that out. I do have Russian stamps, not many. So for me, even though that won't be rare, it is for me. I don't get my hands on them too often, those Ruskies. Here we go. Schott die Natur, Deutsches Bundespost. Schott die Natur, United States President Harding. Do have him. What's this? Looks nasty. It's an American one, I do find them slightly papery and easily worn, the American ones. Possibly they've got further to go. Norway. USA, again, you look at the back and they seem to be a bit see-through and weak. No offence to any Americans there, but... Oh, DDR. Deutsches Bundespost, Deutsches Bundespost. Jüdisches Gemeindehaus, Deutsches Bundespost Berlin. Jüdisches Gemeindehaus. Is that a synagogue? Probably. Probably a new one. Here we've got New Zealand, France, Era. Noleg. We talked about Christmas before. Nadolig in Welsh and Noleg in Gaelic. I do love their Christmas stamps. What is this? Seems a strange thing. Don't suppose I don't know. Monolegs. Strangely not as keen on that, it's a bit too light for me. Canada. Finland. An old favourite there, Italy. Sextamentsco, an old favourite. Denmark. This also is an old favourite. But generally, I'm quite happy that in this bunch there are newish stamps. By that I mean stamps that I haven't come across. That's a lovely stamp. You know, that's a... Yeah, don't look at the camera. Well, I don't know what that is. Time is marching on, so we have to basically move forward. Germany, Denmark, New Zealand. Slightly too dark for me. I'm not keen on the shaded stuff in the front. Canada. Again, it's not the great... They need somebody to really have a... They need someone to sort their stamps out. In my humble, very humble opinion. Magyars. You know, even those, you see, people, peasants, the common peasantry, picking wheat or grain or what have you. You know, that's art. That means something. That is celebrating improvement or enjoying what they do. This, for example, you know, hand clutching a fiery sword. I mean, it burns your heart. It makes you want to, I don't know, beat a drum, march towards the machine guns. Canada Post. That's nice. That is better. So when we were doing it, it was better. When we got here, France. That's lovely. Of course, it was different people, different times, different ways of thinking about things, different opinions on what is art. I mean, what is art and what isn't art? Who knows? I mean, that is nice. Australia, the 1 shilling. Is it a peacock or is it an ostrich? It's something. And in its own way, this council is art. Look at that, Bruxelles and Bruxelles, living in perfect harmony. So I think that shows what can be done in this world of ours. You can have two languages side by side, no tensions, celebrating both, acknowledging both, supporting both, and that in Belgium is an example of a society that has remained for a long, long time together as a very small country, despite war over centuries. Is Turkey, and finally, that and finally moment. Queen of the Netherlands. I'm going to go back to this as our finally moment. I do love that stamp because I love the council with black edging. Anyway, that is it for now. I've got probably one more to look at. We've had some. I'm going to keep that one out. I'm going to say these are my three faves today. Brussels, the Olympics and CCCP because it's pretty rare. So I'll talk to you very soon. Anywho, have a fantastic day you all, and I'll talk to you as and when, as you know, I'm all over these stamps still, so I'll sort these out. Talk to you again soon. Bye for now.